Hello yogis, welcome to this space to pay attention to your body, to your breath, to your feelings. It's especially focused on your lower chakras, the space in between your hips, your legs and your core, and I hope you enjoy it. So let's start. Come to your mat into child pose, Balasana. Opening your knees to the side and your arms to the front, lengthening from the base of the spine to the crown. Settle in deeply, slowing your breath, and imagine the simplicity of being a baby, where all you had to do is just be. So begin in table pose, hands under your shoulders, and send your hips up to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Place your palms firmly on the mat, fingers spread wide. Engage your legs by tucking your toes into the mat and pushing your feet and hands into the floor. And imagine your arms and your legs become your roots. Walk your dog, bend and straighten your legs from your knees. And take a deep inhale and come into high plank pose. And exhale, reverse back to downward facing dog. Take a big inhale, look to the front and walk or jump to the front of the mat. Exhale, raising up your arms to the sky. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your back. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees, relax your head. Inhale, raise up with your arms to mountain pose, Tadasana. And exhale, placing your hands to your heart center in prayer pose. Take a deep inhale, close your eyes, and I invite you to place an intention for this practice. Let's start inhaling up to Tadasana. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to high plank. Exhale, chaturanga, hips down, chest down. Inhale, pulling through your arms to high cobra. Exhale, tag your toes, hips up, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach out with your right leg all the way to the sky. Bend your knee, send your knee all the way to the front and raise up in Warrior One, keeping a solid foundation on your feet. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Come back to Chaturanga. Hips, chest. Inhale, raising into high cobra. Exhale, pulling up to downward facing dog. Inhale, reach out with your left leg all the way to the sky, bending your knee. Place your hand, find your foundation, solid foundation, and raise to the sky. Exhale, hands down, framing your foot. Exhale, chaturanga. Pull through your hands. Inhale, reach to high cobra. Exhale, down to downward facing dog. Inhale, raise your right leg all the way to the sky, bend your knee, place your right hip on top of the left hip, stretch here, and exhale, send your knee forward, placing your right foot on the outside of your right hand. Inhale, raise your left arm all the way to the sky, creating a long line with your arms. Exhale, place your hands down to downward facing dog. Inhale, raise your left leg all the way to the sky, bending your knee and opening your hips. Stretching here. And exhale, send your knee to the front, placing your left foot on the outside of the left hand. And open to the sky with your right arm. Exhale, place it down. Come back to chaturanga. Hips, chest. Inhale, raise up to cobra, opening your chest. Exhale, down to downward facing dog. Inhale, raise your right leg to the sky. And we go to warrior one on the right, placing your solid foundation. Inhale, raise up with your hands, creating circular movements with your arms. Exhale, back. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, back, placing the hands on the floor and step back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Exhale, down to downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale, pressing firmly into the floor. And exhale, send your left leg all the way to the sky. Exhale, bend your knee toward your chest, placing your left foot in between your hands. Inhale, raise up to warrior one. All the way with your hands to the sky. Exhale, hands forward. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, down in circular motion. Inhale. Exhale, place your hands and step back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, raise up to Cobra. Exhale, tie your toes and your hips up to downward facing dog. Inhale, step up, jump to the front of your mat, raising up all the way to Tadasana, mountain pose. And put your feet together, and as you exhale, bend your knees and sit on your chair. Chair pose, keeping your back straight. Utkatasana. You can intensify this pose by going onto your tiptoes, balancing, hugging into your core. And exhale, release down, hands down, step or jump back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, raise up to Cobra, pressing into your hands, hips up to downward facing dog. A step up, jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, raise up to Tadasana, mountain pose, reaching up to the sky. Exhale, bend your knees, put your feet together into chair pose, Utkatasana. And optional to balance on your tiptoes, hugging into your core, connecting air to sky. Exhale, down, forward fold. Inhale, raise up, halfway lift. Exhale, step up, jump back to high plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, press down onto your hands, opening your chest to high cobra, and exhale down into downward facing dog. Inhale, raise your right foot to the sky. Exhale, bend your knee toward your chest, placing your foot in between your hands, preparing for warrior one. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, open to warrior two. Inhale, place your right elbow to your right knee. Exhale, extend through your right fingertips, connecting from your heel to your hand, and exhale down towards the floor. Press down into Chaturanga Dandasana and inhale up into high cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, raise your left leg all the way up to the sky. Send your left knee toward your chest and place your left foot in between your hands. Inhale, raise up, opening to warrior two. Exhale, place your left elbow on your left knee. Inhale, raise up with your right arm, creating a long line from your heel to your fingertips. And exhale towards the floor into Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, raise up to high cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, raise up with your right leg to the sky. Bend your right knee. And exhale, opening your hips, stacking right hip on top of the left hip. Inhale, send your knee toward your chest, placing your right foot on the outside of your right hand. Inhale with your right arm, opening your chest, and change your arm, left arm this time, opening your chest. Come back to the floor, and you can put a little bit of strain onto your right knee, opening your hips a bit more. Step back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, raise up to Cobra. Exhale to Downward Facing Dog. Let's go on the other side. Inhale, raise left leg to the sky. Bend your knee, opening your hips. Exhaling. Inhale, knee towards your chest on the outside of your left arm. Inhale, raising with your right arm all the way to the sky. Exhale down. Inhale with your left arm all the way to the sky. And inhale, rise with your right arm. And change to the other side, opening the chest here. Now put a little bit of pressure onto your left knee with your left arm, trying to opening the hips, opening the muscles from your pelvic floor. Step back to Downward Facing Dog. Inhale, step up, jump to the front of the mat. Raising up to Tadasana, mountain pose. Open your legs wider than your hips. Place your hands on your hips and hinge from your hips with flat back forward, sending your chest towards the floor, feeling the stretch on the back of the legs. And place your hands on the floor. Take a deep inhale, relax your head, and start walking towards your left foot. Keep your right hand by your left foot, open with your left arm all the way to the sky. Exhale. Come back to the floor. Inhale and walk to your right side, keeping your right hand by your left foot, opening with your left arm all the way to the sky, connecting earth to sky. Exhale and come back to the center. So slowly roll back, inhaling all the way up. And we are coming to triangle pose. So twist your right foot and your left foot towards the front of the mat, towards the right. And keeping your upper body facing towards your front, open your arms and slide forward and then down towards your knee with your right hand opening your chest, left arm all the way up. Breathing deeply here, enjoying the stretch on your hips, on your side body. Exhale, come back to the center and twist to the other side, left side. Opening your arms, slide forward and then down towards your knees. Opening with your chest with your left arm. Connecting earth to sky. On the next inhale, come back slowly to your center and tag your fingers on your back. Inhale and exhale, hinging from your hips all the way forward, sending the chest to the floor, relaxing your hair and pulling your fingers all the way up, giving a nice stretch to your shoulder blades. On the next inhale, pulling up from your arms and come back to standing. And we're gonna open the legs wider here. Inhale, put your hands on the floor and slide with your legs opening into a front split to create a nice stretch on your pelvic area. And exhale, pushing up and down with your elbows, creating some strength on your arms while you stretch your pelvic floor. Inhale when you go down, exhale when you go up. Keep pushing. And now we're gonna start to get out of the pose. And you can walk your hands forward, bend your knees. We're coming to frog pose. So your feet is parallel to the back of the mat. And we send the hips all the way down and back. Putting your elbows on the floor and pressing down onto the floor. And breathe deeply into the stretch here. On the next inhale, step onto your hands, coming out of the pose. And find your table pose and your downward facing dog. And inhale, raise your right leg all the way up. Bend your knee and send it to pigeon pose, keeping your shin parallel to the front of the mat, finding a middle point in between your hips, sink your hips down, and on the exhale you can put your elbows down onto the floor, letting your body sink down into the earth. And relax your head down. Inhale, come back. Exhale down. Inhale, raise up. Exhale down. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, head down, creating wavy movements here. Inhale, raise. Exhale down. Inhale, coming all the way up now. And we're gonna bend the back knee. Take it with your left arm, left elbow, and open into mermaid pose. Deep breathing into the stretch, opening your chest, letting your hips open as well. And exhale, release the pose, press onto your hands. And we're going to downward facing dog. Pressing back towards your heels, stretching your back. And from here, we're going to the other side. Inhale onto your left leg up. Bend your knee and send it, your shin parallel to the top of the mat, into pigeon pose. Finding that middle point in between your hips to stretch and to open. Take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, start walking forward with your hands. Inhale, raise your chest up, come back up. Exhale down, wavy movements here. Inhale, raise up your head. Exhale down, curving your spine. Inhale, raise up. Exhale down. And place your elbows on the floor. Relax your head. Let the whole body sink down onto the earth. And slowly on the next exhale, start to bend your right knee, coming up. Inhale, raise your left hand, put it behind your head and hug into your right foot with your elbow to express your mermaid pose. Deep breathing into the stretch, into the legs, the hips, the chest, all the body is stretching on this pose. On the next exhale, start to unfold this pose, relaxing your knee, relaxing your shoulders, and push onto the floor into high plank. and down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, raise up to Cobra. Exhale, come up into Downward Facing Dog and step or jump to the front of your mat. Inhale, raising all the way up to Tadasana. And exhale, arms down. And we are preparing for standing balancing pose, dancer pose. So place your weight on your right foot, bend your left knee, hug with your right hand to your left foot. Inhale, raising your right hand up. And start pulling your hand forward and your foot up, hugging into your core and keeping your gaze to the front. Finding your balance and exhale, relax down, and we go on the other side. So balance on your left leg, hold on to your right foot, extend your left arm up and forward, keeping your focus on the front, hugging into your core, sending your knee all the way up, and exhale, come back and release. So we're gonna give movement to the hips, opening from your knee all the way up and down with your right leg first, creating circular movements, and then with your left leg to stretch those muscles there and give it some dynamic movement here. And now coming to a yogi squat, opening your legs a bit more, bending and sending your pelvic floor forward, keeping your back straight, and put your hands in prayer position, your elbows pulling onto your knees, and just take a deep inhale here. So if it's in your practice, you can prepare for crow. Push down your hands onto the air, firmly fingers, and take it to fly into your crow, gazing forward and deep breathing. Coming back to your yogi squat, inhale deeply and send your breath all the way down to your lower chakras, feeling the energy there, and exhale, coming out of your squat into forward fold, halfway lift, and slowly bend your knees and sit down onto the floor, releasing all the body down onto the floor. Send your legs all the way up to the sky and bend your knees, hug into your knees and create circular movements to release the lower back. Inhale, raise your legs all the way up to your chest, and exhale in circular motions, lengthening your legs and come back up. Exhale, lengthen your legs. Inhale, raise all the way up in circular motion, holding into your core. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, raise with your legs all the way up. Exhale down on the other direction now. So towards your left. Inhale, raising your knees in circular motion. Exhale, extend your legs. And hug your knees toward your chest and come into child pose, hugging into your big toes. Opening your legs, stretching your pelvic muscles, your hamstrings. So we're coming to supinal twist now. Send your right leg towards your left, and you can hold onto your foot. This is available for you. Come back to the center and send your left leg to your right, holding into your foot, giving a twist to the spine. Breathing deeply and come to the other side. You can alternate one side to the other. to give a more dynamic stretch to the back. And from here, coming to Supta Baddha Konasana, lion butterfly pose. Put your hands on your belly and concentrate on your breathing on your lower part of your belly. And on the next exhale, we are coming into fish pose. Extend your legs forward. Place your elbows on the floor, under your shoulder, opening your chest. Inhaling and exhaling, opening your chest, your heart center, breathing into it. On the next exhale, come back sitting and place the sole of the foot together into Supta Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose, opening through your knees, keeping your back straight, and you can flick your knees up and down, breathing into your lower chakras, activating all the energy that is there for you. If you want to intensify the stretch here, you can use your right arm pressing onto your right knee towards the floor, keeping your left arm on the back, supporting your spine. Relax your right shoulder forward, opening your hip flexors, stretching your pelvic muscles. And to the other side, pressing with your left arm into your left knee and relaxing your left shoulder, really opening the hips, the base of the spine, your lower chakras. All this area is really getting a nice juicy stretch. And now we are going to stack right knee on top of the left knee, keeping your table connecting to the floor. Walk your fingertips forward, stretching your back. Release your head down and deep breathing here. And walk back slowly and change to the other side. Left knee on top of the right knee, table down to the floor, and with that long spine we bend forward, releasing the head at the end, stretching through your fingertips, inhaling deeply into the stretch. And here on the next inhale, coming back to a sitting position, wherever is comfortable for you. Long spine, and we are going to give a nice stretch to the neck. So place your right hand on top of the left ear, stretching the side of the neck. And inhale, left hand on top of the right ear. Close your eyes, stretch the side of the neck. Breathe in deeply. And interlace your fingers, send it on the back of your head. Press your chin down toward your chest. Gentle here, and send your hands on your forehead, pushing your head back, opening your chest, and breathing deeply here. And exhale, release your hands, keep your eyes closed, finding a long spine. We're gonna give more dynamic stretch to the neck, chin down and towards your left into circular motion. Inhale when you go up with your nose. Exhale when you go down, very gentle and slow. Inhale up and exhale down. And to the other side, inhale reaching with your nose up. Exhale, reach with your nose down. And come back, put your hands on your knees. Now we're gonna give it to the chest on a stretch. Inhale, pulling your chest forward. Exhale, curving your spine. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Opening that chest, preparing our body to enter in meditation. Opening your palms to the sky. Focus on your breathing. Hold on your breathing onto your belly for 5 seconds. And exhale, release through your nose. And slowly inhale. Start focusing on your third eye, the space between your eyebrows. And imagine there is a white light coming through you and from you on the top of your head. And enjoy this white light that you have created with all your energy, with all your body. And inhale, raise your hands all the way up to the sky, putting them together into prayer pose by your heart center. And exhaling gratitude. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today.